All right, hello and a very good evening to you. Thank you so much for choosing us tonight once again to inform you. Welcome to the broadcast. This is Hope TV's Newswatch. Feels so great to have you join us once again on this last Thursday of January 2026. My name is Theo Macharia, being assisted by Boniface Mureithi on the sign language interpretation. Tonight we have quite a lot of top stories lined up for you. Don't touch that dial. And let's begin with this. A somber atmosphere hung over the city today as street families gathered to collect the bodies of 9 of their loved ones, including a 3-month-old infant from various city morgues. The families are now calling on the government to stop turning a blind eye to their suffering, citing a lack of access to basic healthcare and social protection programs. They argue that their invisible quote-unquote status is quite literally costing them their lives. Vincent Kerosi reports.
It was a grief-stricken afternoon as members of Nairobi's street community came together to give a final send-off to 9 of their own. For these families, the loss is not just a matter of fate, but a consequence of the harsh, dilapidated conditions they call home.
Walikufa wakijitafutia na walikufa wakistruggle design, walikufia kwa street, unaona, na ile opportunity ile ene ipo hakuweza ati kuimea, unaona, but tunajua Mungu aliwapenda zaidi, but watu wana struggle pale nje.
The families are now demanding inclusion in government-led bottom-up initiatives. They are specifically asking to be enrolled in the Nyota program, affordable housing, and other social welfare schemes meant to uplift the vulnerable.
Kukua kwa street si kutaka. Ni situation imetufanya tukafika hapo tuko. Na the most sad thing, ukiangalia wale wase tunazika leo, ni watu walikuwa kwa manyumba zao. Lakini after slum kubomolewa, hawa watu wako na makao tena. Pumwani ndio hao tunaitishwa SHA. Tutapata pesa ya kukula ama ni ya kulipia SHA. President anapeana Nyota na anajenga housing. Sisi tunalala nje na pia sisi tuna Nyota. Tukipatiwa empowerment na tupatiwe kitu to keep busy, hatutalala hiyo.
According to postmortem reports, the causes of death for the 9 individuals, which included a 3-month-old baby, were preventable. Most succumbed to pneumonia and malnutrition, illnesses exacerbated by sleeping in the cold without adequate food.
Baridi iliingia mtoto kulala kwa base, akaishia hapo njaa na baridi. Hizo ndio pneumonia tunapata. Wakati unapigwa random utapata mtu alipigwa na akakuwa na internal zake huko.
Spearheading the burial efforts through her foundation, Nairobi gubernatorial hopeful Agnes Kagure joined the families in their grief. She challenged the county government to stop the delays and expedite the relocation of street families to safer, more dignified environments.
They are dying out of malnutrition. Others are attacked by criminals at night. Others develop pneumonia because of sleeping at night. And I wanted to ask the Nairobi City County. In the year 2012, we had Emmanuel Karisa Maitha as the Minister for Local Government. He is the last person who wanted to rehabilitate these street families. And I remember there was a 40-acre property at Ruai. So I'm asking the Nairobi City County to rehabilitate these street families because there is that allocation of 40 acres land.
As these 9 souls are laid to rest, the message from the streets remains clear. They no longer want to be a footnote in the city's plans, but a priority in its progress. Vincent Kerosi, Hope TV, Nairobi.
And now to some matters, statistics or numbers, if you can call them so. Almost half of Kenyans are of the opinion that the quality of education has improved since the competency-based education system was introduced. Now, according to research done by Infotrack, 49% believe the education system has benefited from the introduction of the CBE system, while 33% are of the contrary opinion. However, 39% have complained that the high cost of school fees coupled with a lack of guidance are the biggest challenges that grade 10 parents have experienced. Our reporter Jacob Ochiro now reports that additionally, the grading system remains a big point of debate.
Kenyans from across the country have expressed different feelings about the current 2663 system of education that is currently at the grade 10 stage. According to a research done by Infotrack between the 29th of December and the 24th of January, 49% of Kenyans believe that the quality of education has improved since the advent of CBE.
From our survey, nearly half of Kenyans, that is 49%, opine that the quality of education has improved compared to 844 system. However, there is also a 33% that believe the quality of education has worsened, with an 18% stating that the quality has remained the same.
As the enrollment of grade 10 students continues, 39% of Kenyans are of the opinion that the high cost of fees and uniform are the biggest hurdle they have faced, while 19% complained of lack of guidance on the transition from the relevant authorities.
We can report that 39%, this is both parents and of course learners, have made a complaint, or they've raised the complaint of the high cost of the system. And this high cost of education are mainly attributed to school fees and the uniform, 39%.
Kenyans have also raised questions about the new grading system that came into use for the first time during the release of the KJSEA exams in December. 45% believe that they are not satisfied with the system.
We can report that 39%, this is both parents and of course learners, have made a complaint, or they've raised the complaint of the high cost of the system. And this high cost of education are mainly attributed to school fees and the uniform, 39%.
A total of 63% of Kenyans are also not of the opinion that uniform for senior secondary should be optional. 78% of parents from Northeastern believe the quality of education has improved, while only 35% of coastal region parents believe the same. Western is second in terms of those who believe the quality of education has improved.
Collect data. Our data is collected.
As the government struggles to achieve 100% grade 10 transition, statistics now show that the government has a lot to do to ensure the CBE system is understandable before full transition in 2028. Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, I'm Jacob Ochiro.
President William Ruto has called on young people to take advantage of the government's empowerment funds to improve their livelihoods. Now, Ruto says that empowerment is key to economic growth, noting that his administration has introduced programs such as the Nyota project to support young entrepreneurs. Speaking at Gusii Stadium in Kisii during the disbursement of Nyota Startup Capital to youths from Kisii, Nyamira and Migori counties, the president said investing in skills, training and entrepreneurship helps reduce unemployment, urging beneficiaries to use the funds prudently.
Speaking during the Nyota Capital Disbursement event in Kisii County, the head of state said each beneficiary will receive 36,000 Kenya shillings to help them acquire hand-on skills that generate income. President Ruto noted that the funding would support young people interested in trade such as plumbing, electrical work, carpentry, masonry and other vocational skills.
Sio lazima jina yako ijulikane. Sio lazima ujulikane na chief, ama mzee wa mitaa, ama mtu wa nyumba 10, ama mbunge, ama governor. Sio lazima ujulikane na mtu yeyote. Wewe na timu yako, jipange leo jioni. Tunatafuta vijana wengine 90,000 ambao tunataka kuwapanga na ujuzi, na tutawapatia pesa 36,000 ya kwenda kupata hiyo ujuzi, na tutawalipia mtihani, na ukimaliza tutahakikisha kwamba umepata ujuzi ambayo itakusaidia kusukuma maisha yako mbele.
In a bid to expand employment opportunities, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki highlighted the government's ongoing effort to secure jobs for Kenyan youth abroad through the National Employment Authority Integrated Management System.
Mradi huu wa Nyota ni mradi wa serikali wa kuweka nguvu vijana ili wafanye biashara kulingana na vile wewe rais ulituongoza wakati wa kampeni, tukaahidi katika manifesto yetu. Kwa hivyo hii program ni ya kuwezesha vijana waanze biashara zao ndogo ndogo ambazo baadaye zitakuwa biashara kubwa.
President Ruto, however, dismissed claims that the Nyota Fund is a scam, assuring applicants that their approved funds will be deposited directly into Pochi La Biashara accounts. He explained that the move is intended to separate business funds from personal spending and ensure accountability.
Na hawa watu wanasema hiyo fitina mingi, we are going to shame them because they are going to see the reality of our commitments, the reality of the projects and programs that we committed ourselves when we wrote our manifesto. Kwa hivyo ndugu zangu vijana, mimi nataka niwaeleze leo ni siku yenu, na nimewaeleza ya kwamba hatuwachani na nyinyi. For the next 6 months, tuko na nyinyi bumper to bumper.
The new funding model comes amid growing debate over the legitimacy of the Nyota Fund, with Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka previously dismissing it. Youth employment remains one of the biggest challenges facing the country. The Kenya Kwanza administration insists the program is part of the broader strategy to create jobs and empower young people to become self-employed.
Cabinet Secretary for Public Service Geoffrey Ruku has directed human resource managers across the public service to take firm disciplinary action against officers who report to work late, abscond duty, or fail to deliver services in line with Articles 10 and 232 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, outlining the national values and principles of governance, including integrity, professionalism, and merit-based appointments, all aimed at ensuring public servants serve the public's interest. Now, speaking during an impromptu inspection of regional government offices in Kisumu County, Ruku noted that lateness and absenteeism directly undermine service delivery and leave citizens waiting unnecessarily. Further, all government ministries, departments, and agencies have been ordered to ensure their communication channels are active and accessible to the public for effective service delivery. And Kenya and the United States have reaffirmed their commitment to strengthening their relationship built on mutual respect and shared interests. United States Deputy Secretary of State Christopher Lundanu, who is on a 2-day visit to Kenya, held separate meetings with President William Ruto and Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, where they discussed various bilateral and regional issues of mutual interest. And as Alice Diana reports, the Kenyan government has appreciated the continued support of the United States in strengthening critical infrastructure that enhances operational readiness and shared efforts to promote regional peace and security.
Kenya and the United States have agreed to advance and further strengthen collaborations in defense, peace and security as an anchor to economic progress. Addressing the press after holding talks with the United States Deputy Secretary of State Christopher Landau, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi said it is a reflection of the strong partnership and mutual respect being nurtured between Kenya and the United States in further advancing global peacemaking and security efforts.
We held constructive discussions on a wide range of bilateral and regional issues of mutual interest, reviewed the progress made in our cooperation, specifically trade and investment, energy, infrastructure, defense cooperation, regional peace and security matters, and explored ways of further strengthening the strategic partnership between Kenya and the United States.
Mudavadi further noted that Kenya and the United States have also made significant progress across trade, investment, counterterrorism, health, education, and development, terming the efforts to have been major contributors to shared prosperity and strengthened stability across the region.
Kenya welcomes the progress made in renewing the African Growth and Opportunity Act, AGOA, for another 3 years. This renewal is an important milestone for Kenya-US trade, and we look forward to continued mutually beneficial trade between our two countries.
On his part, U.S. Deputy Secretary of State Christopher Landau, who is in Kenya for the first time, underscored the importance of the relationship between the United States and Kenya. He recounted the events of the August 7, 1998 bombing, where Kenyans and Americans lost their lives, and reaffirmed the United States' commitment of working on security issues in the region.
It was certainly very moving for me and for my colleagues this morning to see how Kenyans and Americans shed blood together on that terrible day, and we must reaffirm our commitment that such a day will not recur again. And we're working very hard on security, as the minister mentioned, to that end.
Landau later attended a ceremony to honor Haiti mission officers at the National Police College in Embakasi, Nairobi County, where he thanked the Kenyan government for the role it played in maintaining peace in that country. Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen acknowledged the United States for their contribution towards enhancing the mission in Haiti.
We want to thank President Trump and the United States government, here represented by Mr. Landau, for the effort and the work they have done towards enhancing this mission in Haiti by establishment of the Gang Suppression Force.
Landau had earlier in the morning met with President William Ruto at State House Nairobi in an engagement that reflected on gains already made and advancing future cooperation between Kenya and the United States of America. Alice Diana, Hope TV Newswatch.
Vihiga Governor Wilberforce Otichilo has defended a controversial 5 million shillings expenditure linked to the Speaker's residence, dismissing claims that public funds were used for a housewarming ceremony. Otichilo said the money was advanced to the County Assembly as a loan to facilitate furnishing of the Speaker's house after construction was completed. He maintains that the funds were fully reimbursed to the county. Following the official opening of the residence, the governor blamed the public uproar on what he termed as interference with finance ledger records, claiming the expenditure was wrongly captured as quote-unquote housewarming instead of operational costs. However, the Auditor General has flagged the expenditure as wasteful and illegal, intensifying scrutiny over the management of public funds in the county.
The issue rose from the issue that the people in the finance as putting our money for operation and then adding there, housewarming. That's where the problem came. As far as I know, this money was loaned to the assembly for the purpose of operationalizing the Speaker's house, and operationalization entailed buying furniture, buying beds, buying equipment, and staging and convening an official opening. And in that official opening, we were all invited. All the members of parliament were invited. In fact, even the key speaker, the key chief guest was Musalia Mudavadi. Unfortunately, he didn't come, but his representatives were there. So it was something that was transparent, something that everybody was there, and people were happy. But the senator did not attend, and he clearly said that he didn't attend because he had a misgiving about audit queries about the house.
Still ahead tonight is an update of a team that walked all the way from Eldoret to Integrity Center in Nairobi for a reason that I will be telling you just immediately after this short break. Let's take it.
Hi everyone, my name is George Gishoro, a presenter with Hope TV. Thank you so very much for continuing to support us by watching all our programs. Now, we would love to serve you even better. Now, we want to know where you are watching us from and the strength of the signal. You can scan the QR code and ensure that you answer all the questions in ensuring that you are getting us loud and clear with crystal pictures. So go ahead and fill in the QR code so that we can serve you better right here at Hope TV, where you look and live.
At the age of 25 is where there is also another change, because the frontal cortex, this part of the head, the maturity now of the brain happens at that time, which is responsible for intellectual abilities, decision makings, and the executive area of the brain. Again, it comes with other challenges. Now that I am who I am, you withdraw further from people. Then the other stage that comes in, sometimes it can come early from the age of 35 all the way to 55. Midlife crisis. Midlife crisis. So the man is trying to catch up with the lost time. Unajua anajaribu kuingia kwa hawa vijana because they lost the time, they don't feed. Unapata jamaa anaacha koti avae, lakini wewe umevaa.
Jibu wewe umevaa koti. Are you trying to communicate?
Are you trying to fit? So like, so like they are trying to fit, but as they move closer to this generation, now ina move away. Inasonga, ukikuja inasonga. So then the loneliness increases, and in fact it is that critical stage where in the field of psychology we teach the men to begin to prepare themselves for that package of retirement.
Catch past episodes on our YouTube channel at Hope TV Kenya.
Men on Record, every Friday at 7 p.m.
There's a world out there searching for hope, and you can help bring it home. By becoming a friend of Hope, you're helping us share the love of Jesus through Hope FM and Hope TV. With a donation of any amount, join hands with us to bring hope and point souls to the transforming power of Jesus Christ. Become a friend of Hope today by making your donation through the M-Pesa paybill number 933933, account FOH. For more information on how to become a friend of Hope, call 0116-212-723 or email customerexperience@hopefm.org or visit www.hopemediakenya.org. Friends of Hope, keeping hope alive.
All right, welcome back, and thank you so much for keeping it Hope TV. Now let's continue informing you with the latest in the world of news. And the government has enhanced cancer treatment coverage under the Social Health Authority SHA, following alarming statistics showing that nearly 29,000 Kenyans die from cancer every year, with about 44,000 new cases diagnosed annually. In a major boost for cancer care, Health Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale announced that the Ministry of Health has increased the oncology benefit package from 500,000 shillings to 800,000 shillings per household, a move aimed at protecting families from catastrophic health expenditure associated with cancer treatment. To improve service delivery, Duale further announced that the national government will now pay for service level agreements to ensure cancer treatment machines remain functional around the clock.
Close to 29,000 Kenyans die every year, and close to 44,000 Kenyans are diagnosed every year. So it's a top priority for both the county government and for the national government health sector reform. So we have coordinated that and agreed that we are going to pay for the service level agreement so that the companies that brought these machines will service these machines 24/7 so that there's no patient who will wait in the queue because the machine is down.
Tuko na ardhi hapa katika eneo letu la Coast General. Tunataka tujenge ward maalum ambao kwamba itakuwa ni ward ya saratani. Wengi wagonjwa wakija hapa ni watu ambao kwamba ni maskini. Asa ile ambao kwamba SHA itaweza kusimamia waweze kusimamia ya kwa wameweza kulazwa katika hospitali hapa na tutairegister hii center hii iwe ni registration yake kando na ile ambao kwamba ni registration ya hospitali kuu.
Anti-corruption champions arrived at the Integrity Center in Nairobi after completing a 350-kilometer walk from Eldoret. Now, led by Mark Kirwa, the team presented a petition to the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, EACC, seeking partnership and support in the fight against corruption. The group says the journey was aimed at preaching the gospel of a corruption-free Kenya as they work on the dream of making Kenya like Singapore.
The group led by Mr. Mark Kirwa says the 350 kilometers walk was driven by a passion to see a corruption-free Kenya, with members stopping traffic in various towns to sensitize the public on integrity and accountability. Along the way, the team says they encountered hardships including fatigue and injuries, but remained determined to deliver their petition to the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission.
As we were coming along the way, we experienced a lot of anguish and agonies, rains, hot sun, anger from people, for they thought we were doing politics. But we sensitized them. Maybe tungefika mapema. But we were on a serious campaign and advocacy in matters doing away with corruption so that we can reach Singapore together.
Upon arrival, the team formally handed over their petition to the EACC, calling for stronger collaboration in fighting corruption and promoting integrity across the country. The EACC chairperson congratulated the group for their dedication, noting that some members were visibly exhausted from the long walk, and reaffirmed that a corruption-free nation is achievable with collective efforts.
The fight against corruption is not the responsibility of EACC alone. Every Kenyan has a job or has a responsibility to do their part. The least that one can do is not to participate in or not take part in any corrupt activity. At least that is within your control as an individual. Before it comes to law enforcement or what other people can do, but as an individual, you have a responsibility, and that is what you have shown us. So I will receive your petition and act on it as required, as requested by your team.
The Chief Executive Officer confirmed receipts of their petition, assuring the team that the Commission will work with them to address both immediate and long-term concerns raised. The CEO emphasized that the fight against corruption requires partnership with citizens and civil groups, starting with actionable steps that can be implemented right away.
When young people like yourself take up this, you have energy, the energy that I don't have. For you to walk 350 kilometers on foot because of a cause that you believe in, it means you can go very far in ensuring that this vice is taken out of our country.
The anti-corruption champions say their journey does not end in Nairobi, as they plan to continue mobilizing Kenyans to embrace integrity and accountability, expressing hope that their work will impress nationwide action against corruption.
A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and Kenya is a step ahead as young men march from Eldoret to Nairobi to bring their petition of a no corruption Kenya to EACC. Reporting for Hope TV, my name is Glory Githinji.
Right, thank you so much, Glory Nkatha, for that beautiful report. And a section of the Nkatade community in Lokichar, Turkana County, has donated land to Christ is the Answer Ministries, that is CITAM, to establish a new mission center in the area. CITAM presiding Bishop Reverend Dr. Callisto Odede was received with traditional songs and dances during the handover ceremony. Now, local leaders, including Turkana Central Sub-County Commissioner Gideon Ombogi and Sub-County Administrator Simon Koloi, lauded the church for its development-focused approach. They noted that CITAM's partnership with World Vision has continued to improve livelihoods through social and community empowerment programs. The leaders expressed optimism that the new mission center will further support spiritual growth and socio-economic development in the region.
But I just wanted to appreciate and thank you. Showed us and the boundaries that you created to us. We come in the name of God and as servants of God because God cares about the people.
All right, and now some matters business. The government says it has approved 225 billion shillings of the 606 billion shillings pending bills, paving way for the National Treasury and county governments to pay suppliers. Addressing MPs during the ongoing 2026 legislative retreat in Naivasha, Treasury and Economic Planning Principal Secretary Dr. Chris Kipto said that 80 billion shillings within the road sector has already been cleared, with the remaining 175 billion shillings set to be cleared in coming months, while acknowledging the difficulties business entities have been exposed to as a result of delays in clearing the accumulated pending bills. The PS said the government was experiencing a shrinking fiscal space with reduced revenues and tax collections over the years.
The figures I have seen is that of the 660 billion that were given to the committee, they have managed to recommend for payment about 255 billion. Out of that 255 billion, 80 billion is to the road sector. And that has already been settled through the securitization of RMLS. So we have a balance of 175 billion, which is we are going to take to cabinet, and it's our intention that we allocate financing and bring to you for approval in Parliament in this supplementary.
Bwana PS amesema already zile verified bills zote zile verified, wametafuta pesa na wamepata, watalipa with immediate effect. Kwa hivyo nataka kuhakikishia Wakenya musife moyo, kuna tumaini na bills zenu, pesa zenu zitalipwa na serikali.
Crushing operations at Nzoia Sugar Company were today brought to a standstill after workers staged protests over 20 months of unpaid salaries, paralyzing transport along the busy Webuye-Eldoret highway. The angry employees downed their tools, lit bonfires and blocked the road, bringing traffic to a complete halt as they demanded immediate payment of their long-standing salary arrears. The workers said the prolonged delay in salaries has pushed them to the brink, leaving many unable to provide basic needs or pay school fees for their children. The demonstrations later turned chaotic as anti-riot police moved in to clear the highway, triggering running battles with the protesting workers as authorities worked to restore order and reopen the blocked road.
Kwa majina naitwa Abel Wanyonyi, mtetezi wa wanyonge. Nataka kusema hivi kwa serikali ya Kenya Kwanza. Nyinyi mlichukua vijana wa Nzoia mkasema mtawapea kazi. Wale walikuwa wanapalilia nuclear. Sasa hii mmefukuza wapaliliaji wa nuclear wote hawako.
Hapa tulikuwa na mkataba, hata kopi ika hapa notice ya hii Wangara ambaye ameweka, ambaye walisema kwamba mkataba ilifanywa, MOU ikafanywa. Hawa ambayo mnaona kwa heti walikalia, hata representative wa Rai alikaa na viwanda vyote. Lakini mkataba ilikuwa ya kwamba wafanyikazi wote wasiende nyumbani. Lakini Muhindi akaleta watu wake kutoka sehemu zingine akaweka hapa na akafukuza watu wakaenda nyumbani. Na wale ambao walipaki, mkataba ilisema ya kwamba watolewe tu 20% kwa mshahara yao ilikuwa ya zamani.
Tangu 2017 to date watu hawajawahi lipwa pesa. Sasa naomba Wetangula, tuna mswada ilienda kwake akakataa kusaini watupee pesa. Sasa saa hizi tunasema kama walipi sisi pesa wote wanaenda one term. Watu mseme one term.
Kutulipa arrears lakini wametudanganya. Kwa hivyo tumechoka, wenzetu wamekufa, watoto school fees hatujalipa, separation wafanyikazi ikafanywa mbaya, wakafuta watu wako nje, huko ndani tunaumia, health and safety hakuna, Wahindi wanachukana watu. Kwa hivyo tunataka kuomba serikali yetu, spika wetu akiwa namba 3,
napenda kuomba ya kwamba viongozi wetu wakaweze kusaidia ili wafanyikazi wa Nzoia waweze kupata pesa zao.
All right, and now it's time for us to play, or if you like, welcome to the world of sports. And we begin with Kenya's dream of qualifying for the historic 2026 Futsal Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco came to an end last evening after a 10-7 home loss to Namibia at the Kasarani Indoor Arena sealed their elimination. The defeat meant the Harambee Sambas exited the qualifiers with an 18-11 aggregate score, having earlier gone down 8-4 in the first leg played in Windhoek. Now, Team Kenya's head coach, James Omondi, however, believes the experience has laid a vital foundation for the future of the fast-growing game in the country.
A lot of lessons. You see, Namibia has been playing AFCON, and they have a professional league for the last 15 years. So, scoring 7 goals against them at home, 4 goals against them away is a very good achievement for the boys. Remember, futsal is just something starting in Kenya, and FKF have embraced futsal because it's the foundation of football. And such kind of opportunities are very important for the development of futsal in Kenya. We look forward to starting the leagues for futsal and a lot of coaching courses so that guys can understand what futsal is all about, because it is key in the development of football.
It's just like a teamwork. Yes, we prepare the things with time, we prepare the things with attention, and when the things happen, the results appears. I remember that in the last 3 games, internationals, Namibia will lose. In the last 2, he wins. That will be the spirit. That will be our intention to work to win. But let me say something. Kenya was a great team. I have to give some words to the coach because it's an honor to us play against a team like this.
All right, and on that note, one of our viewers is asking, what is a futsal game? Now, allow me just bring you up to speed with what a futsal game is. And it says, a futsal is a scaled-down variant of association football that is played between 2 teams of 5 players, each on a court smaller than a football pitch. So a futsal game is just something similar to the normal football that we know, but remember, 5 players each team and on a smaller than a football pitch. And also someone else wants to know, how is the futsal different from football? Now, the major difference between futsal and football is that a futsal ball is smaller and heavier and has significantly less bounce than a standard football, thereby keeping it on the ground for better control in fast-paced, tight, and spaced games. I hope you're adequately informed about that new game in town called futsal game. Let's now proceed with the Football Kenya Federation has secured a landmark 90 million shilling sponsorship deal for the National Domestic Cup. This 3-year agreement will inject 30 million shillings annually into the tournament, benefiting 64 clubs across the country. Now, beyond direct financial support for teams, the partnership introduces individual cash awards to reward excellence on the pitch. FKF President Hussein Mohammed hailed the deal as a cornerstone for a more professional and credible football ecosystem. The road to glory officially begins on February the 7th with a grand finale set for June 2026.
2026 all the way.
Today we are once again launching and announcing a monumental partnership between Mozartbet and FKF. And I think the increased sponsorship to 30 million per year for the next 3 years to a total of 90 million for the duration of the sponsorship is a big milestone for us. FKF, of course, will always insist on credibility, accountability, and integrity in everything that we do. This is the reason why Mozartbet, I believe, has shown trust and confidence in the federation, and why they've increased the sponsorship package. For the teams that are participating, we wish them all the best. I want to assure Kenyans that we are going to do everything in our power to ensure that we continue building football. I want to thank His Excellency the President of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, of course, for also the infrastructure development plans and programs that he's putting in place. And we are very grateful to the government for all the support.
As we officially get this.
All right, and on that note, we've come to a close of tonight's edition of Hope TV's Newswatch. I hope you have been adequately informed with the latest stories making headlines in the world of news. My name is Theo Macharia. On the sign language interpretation desk was Boniface Morethi. And from the men and women also behind the scenes, we wish you a restful night. And also remember, there is nothing that is too hard for the Lord. Good night and see you again tomorrow, same time, same place. Keep it Hope TV.